Understanding how your actions affect the other members of your team is a hallmark of a good teammate, and so is a willingness to adapt to your role. As the world shifts to more online learning and more online meetings through Zoom and other similar apps, how you communicate with your team may require some adaptation on your part. If you want to be effective in communicating your message, you need to consider what it's like to be the person on the other side of the computer screen watching you talk. Delivering an effective message to your team requires a certain degree of etiquette. Now, this may not be my specific field of expertise, but the art of being a good teammate is, and good teammates share. So allow me to share with you a few tips that I've learned. Here are 3 very specific practices to follow to improve the effectiveness of your video communications. You can think of them as the 3 P's: position, placement, and presentation. Let's cover position first. Where you position yourself in the room for the meeting makes a difference. Think of a football coach trying to deliver a motivational speech to his team with the sun setting behind him. It wouldn't matter if it was Vince Lombardi himself delivering that speech. The players aren't going to absorb the message. They'll be too distracted by the sun in their eyes to really concentrate on what is being said. Well, the same is true for your video performance. Don't position yourself with a source of light behind you, like a window. It will cause you to become a distracting silhouette. Your face will be darkened, and it will be too hard for the viewer to see your facial expressions and read your body language. Lighting matters. So a much better option is to position yourself facing the window. Let the light from the window shine on your face. In most cases, daylight will be more than bright enough to sufficiently light your face. It might be a little uncomfortable or inconvenient for you to have the light shining on you, but it helps your viewer. All right, number 2, placement. We're talking about the actual placement of your webcam here. The angle you appear at on camera impacts the type of message you deliver. Think of coaches making their team kneel down while they're standing up. This is a position of authority and can be intimidating. You can unintentionally come across this way if you place your webcam below you. Having the webcam below you can also be distracting, and so can having it too high. You look like you're trying to peek over a wall. Remember, the goal is to minimize distractions. A general rule to follow is to level up and place your eyes a third of the way down the screen. It doesn't matter if you're zoomed in or zoomed out. Your eyes should remain a third of the way down the screen. Placing the camera at this height may require you to lower your chair or prop your computer up with another object. Placing your eyes a third of the way down the screen is also a ninja trick of sorts. When you're speaking, you want to look at the camera and not at the screen. Sometimes it can be hard to resist the urge to look down at the screen. But if you place your eyes a third of the way down, it's almost like a newscaster reading from the teleprompter. Glancing down at the computer screen is not as obvious to the viewer from this perspective. Finally, number 3, presentation. What is showing behind you? Our eyes naturally wander while we listen to someone speaking on camera. How many of you are checking out the books on the shelf behind me, or trying to figure out what the items are sitting on the shelf? We're programmed to do this from watching television. We notice the background scenery. What appears behind you can be a distraction and keep your message from being received as it was intended. But you can also use the area behind you to your advantage to communicate additional subtle messages. If you're a teacher, you would decorate your classroom to create an environment to occupy your students' wondering eyes. Well, now you need to do the same thing to the area that's behind you on camera. If done correctly, what appears behind you can enhance your message and amplify the quality of your delivery. Let me end by revisiting something I mentioned at the start of this video about adapting your role. Whatever your previous role may have been, it now includes the necessity to communicate through video conferencing. And that requires you to take on the added responsibilities of being an actor or an actress, an on-air performer, a director, a producer, and a cinematographer. You might think of this as being more than you signed up for, but if you really want to be a good teammate to the people you're communicating with, then you need to embrace your new roles. Incorporating these 3 simple practices, position, placement, and presentation, will help you be a more effective online communicator. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking to broaden your teamwork horizons, check out my new book, The We Gear: How Good Teammates Shift from Me to We. It's available on Amazon, iTunes, and wherever books are sold. You can also discover more on our website, coachloya.com.